Alright, so day one. Aristotle's story from day one. So day one, this was, if I can remember, it was 2017. It was the end of 2017. I realized I wanted to get out of the Army. I never wanted to stay. When I graduated high school, I had about a 3.4, but I took all honors classes, so I was smart.
Okay.
But I couldn't afford college, so I was forced to go to the military because my parents couldn't financially support on either side. So I went to the military because I didn't want to go into debt. I said I do not want to go in $90,000 debt when I can just start a business because I already was a semi-entrepreneur. I was flipping Jordans.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to buy a lot of shoes. Then I said, you know what, my shoes are worth a lot. I caught them at a low price. So I flipped all my sneakers before I left the Army. So I came in the Army. At that time, I thought it was a lot, but like, $2,000, but I'm 18 years old. I'm coming in the Army with some money.
Mm-hmm.
I already done flipped everything. My last job before I left the Army I was a cart pusher at Walmart.
Okay.
And my pay was $7.40 an hour. So I was excited about that. I was making $500 every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like at 18 years old, I thought I was doing something. But it wasn't, it wasn't that. But anyway, so I joined the Army. What's crazy is when you go through basic training, you gotta go to AIT after that. So as soon as I get an AIT, guess what I do? Go invest in some clippers and tell people I'm cutting hair.
Okay.
Because the reason I learned how to cut hair was because my mom, she didn't really like taking me to the barber shop. So I told her, you know what, I'm gonna just learn how to cut my own hair. So I was cutting my own hair in high school, my 11th grade year all the way through. I practiced on my own hair, so I had very wavy hair. So, I had the deep waves and everything. So no matter how you cut it, it's gonna look good. You know what I mean? If you got good waves. So, if, I would mess myself up my junior year, but senior year I got real good. So that's where the barber mindset came from. I was cutting my own hair from junior to senior year. What's crazy is my mom, her tough love and she's a woman, so she don't believe a man needs a haircut every 2 weeks or every week. You know what I'm saying? She was very frugal, I'll say. My mom was like that. Like my mom was the type of woman who budgeted and had a spreadsheet. Like she was that type of person. So my haircut wasn't in the budget. You feel me? That's how my mom is. Like she literally knows what she gonna save at the end of the month. She has everything down to the dollar. Coupon and everything. Like she played no games. So that's where I got my money mindset from my mom about knowing how to move, knowing how to save. Cause I watched my mom save, $100,000 with a $50,000 job type thing. You see what I'm saying? Like over a course of time. You see what I'm saying? So my mom was a real hustler mindset. Like that's why both my mom and my dad. My dad from Pool Creek. I don't know if you know that. He's from the hood in Atlanta, Cleveland Ave, Pool Creek, all that. So my dad, was a drug dealer.
Okay.
But my mom was a very smart woman, but she got pregnant young. She had me at 19, and she had my sister at 17. So we, started from the bottom. Like my dad had me when he was 21, and my mom had me when she was 19. But anyways, back to being in the Army, I go to AIT. I'm already charged. So here's the advantage. Look how God works. I already practiced on my hair, right, in high school. In AIT, basic training, we had bald heads.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine looking at yourself with a bald head for 9 weeks. Anything's better than that. So I'm learning how to cut hair. So this is how I learned how to cut hair. I learned how to cut hair because anything was better than, what I'm saying? So when you get out of basic training, everybody don't want to go to the barbershop. All we want to do is just sit in the room and play our games or talk to our girlfriend, whatever it was. Last thing we want to do is go to the barbershop. We want to spend as much, when you in the Army, you spend so much time working because we wake up at 5 in the morning and don't get off till 5 in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. So if you can save people time, you can make a lot of money. So I said, boom. I'm learning how to cut these guys' hair. Yeah, I'm messing them up, but it looks good to them because
Jay said you messing them up.
Man, but I'm getting better over time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting better over time. But I'm on YouTube every night. I'm studying. So this is where I get my work ethic from. I already was flipping shoes online before I joined the Army. And then I saw another hustle of mine said I was charging them $5 a haircut. So imagine that. I was charging these guys $5 a haircut. Let me tell you how frugal I was with my money. I walked out of AIT with about $1,400 in cash. So imagine how many fives I saved. But I thought that was something. But I saved that money over a course of like 4 months. Off $5 haircuts in AIT, right? So I already got this hustle mindset, you know what I'm saying? I walk out of AIT, I saved about, I'm only 19 when I walk out. I saved about 5,000, so I'm proud of myself. I'm like, so I'm already thinking like, okay, this Army stuff ain't it. Like, I done figured out a way to make 5,000. That means I can figure out a way to make $1 million. That's what I'm thinking in my head. So I'm cutting hair. But at some point, I lost myself. Once I got out of AIT and got to my duty station, it was in Savannah, Georgia, right? But it was called Fort Stewart, so it's near Savannah. So once I got to my duty station, I done got good with the haircut, so I got to advertise as soon as I land. So I done lost all my clientele, so I got to start over. And then, you know, after a while, you got to burn through some money, you know what I'm saying? Because I needed a car. I didn't have a car yet after I left out of AIT. So I had to go get a car. It was crazy. I didn't know how to drive when I bought my car.
Wow.
This is let me tell you what type of personality I have. I bought my car. I had a license. I knew just enough to get a license, but I didn't know. I never been on the highway or never drove without a person in the car. So I technically didn't know how to drive. I never been on the highway or nothing like that, right? So when I first bought my car, you wanna know what I did? I drove back to Fort Stewart. I took the chance. I didn't know how to drive, never been on the highway, but I said, if I'm gonna buy this so I was in Atlanta, but I was stationed in Savannah. So I forced myself to say, hey, I'm gonna learn how to drive by going home. So I said, when I bought the car, I didn't know how to drive. The next day, and you know, my sister thought I was crazy. I'm driving home.
How you get out the lot?
I get out the lot?
Yeah.
I drove.
Nervous.
But I bought it in the same city where we live, so it wasn't a far drive. Like, I always drove under adult supervision. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a driver in training at the time, because I didn't start driving until I was 18 years old. I didn't learn how to drive until I was 18 years old, because my mom wasn't gonna let me borrow the car. So I was like, what's the point of learning this?
Oh, wow.
You feel me? Like, that's how I felt. You ain't gonna let me borrow the car, you know what I'm saying? So, cause you know we only had one car, my mom had to run errands and stuff like that. So really I couldn't, she didn't have time. So I was like, cool. But anyway, that's what I did. I took that risk, drove home, and then I had to start over. So I'm back at Fort Stewart, I'm in the Army. I got a car, somehow I made it home. I literally learned on the highway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was so funny because people were beeping their horn.
Oh man, you said that like that.
Yeah. So this is how I advertised. I saw a sneaker community on Facebook, but then through that I saw yard sale communities because I started becoming frugal. Because we ain't making money at that time. I was making like $600 every 2 weeks as soon as I get in the Army. So I was like, I gotta cut hair again. Like, that's what I'm thinking, because I like, this ain't enough. Like, I can't live off $1,200 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So how I was able to get myself on the ground was I went to the sneaker communities and then the yard sale pages. So I ended up being the barber for like the military dudes' kids and them. So a lot of them got kids and stuff. So I knew that the wives would be on the yard sale pages. You see what I'm saying? And in the military, near the military bases, everybody, because we gotta cut hair, you know what I'm saying? We gotta get our hair cut every week, or you get in trouble. Like, if you don't keep up with your hair, you can get, written up in the military. So barbering was a must, because you had to keep up with your appearance, your haircut, all that, right? So I was getting clientele from the barracks room, because they didn't want to go anywhere. So the barracks is like this big old building, but everybody got a room. So I got them clientele, and then I got people with sons and other military people, because I advertised on the yard sale page. So I'm bringing in at one point, I'm bringing in like $3,000 a month residual income. I scaled, like, of course, I started from, I had to scale it to that. But after like a year and a half of doing that, cutting hair, I'm making $3,000 a month residual income. So I said, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use this money that I'm making on the side to learn how to invest. But first, I'm gonna teach myself how to invest. So I already taught myself how to barber by watching YouTube and stuff. So I said that means I can learn investing. If I learn something for free on YouTube and now I'm making $3,000 a month, that means I can learn something else. That's what I'm thinking in my head. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna teach myself how to invest. So I start Googling. First thing I do, how to invest. So I'm like, you know what? I don't got time for this. So I download this app called Acorns. So remember, I'm making $3,000 a month off cutting hair, and then, but what I'm doing is I'm living off my army money. So I'm living cheap as a mug, because I gotta survive off army money. But I'm thinking, shoot, if these guys can survive off of it, I can too. So I'm living just like them, but I'm making money. Like I had a safe, because they had to pay me in cash. Most guys pay me in cash. So I had a safe in my room. I even drilled it to the dresser. So that way, I drilled the back of the safe to the dresser. So that way you can't take it out.
Right.
So I did that. So I had about, at one point, like 15,000 cash in the barracks room.
Wow.
Like saved up, and I'm only 20 years old.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, like, if I can save 15,000 and I'm only making 22,000 a year, that means I'm doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
you doing something.
So I'm like, if I'm literally, for one, I already make more than the Army pays me. Almost 3 times more. They paying I was making $900 every 2 weeks. So I was making $1,800 a month, but I was making $3,000 I cutting hair. So I'm getting to the money. I'm at one point I'm making more than my bosses, but I'm keeping it, a hush. You know what I'm saying? At one point they started noticing though, 'cause I was turned up. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like I done bought me a new Camaro.
Oh.
I was like, and I'm living in the barracks, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing all types of stuff in the barracks. I bought me a brand new Camaro, everything. So everybody knows what's going down. So then I end up teaching myself. So while I saving that money, I'm educating myself on investing. So when I saved up enough money, I end up falling in love with my wife, who I'm with now. So what's crazy is, this is the real reason I got into investing too. It's because I love her, but I can't spend time with her if I'm always busy cutting hair.
That's right.
So I had to let go of barbering. But for love though. So I'm burning through that 15,000 because I done let go of my hustle. Because I done fell in love with a girl. So you know what they say? That love can slow you down. For real, that's true. But this is what I said. I said, dang, I was already learning investing. If I can really, really learn this thing, I can have both my wife and my money.
In your time.
But I said, I want both though. That's what I told myself. Because I said, this girl is special. I can't lose her.
Right.
But I done let go of the money. So I'm burning through that 15,000, and then, I'm trying to impress her, this and that. I'm really wooing her. Because I done met her, in the past before, and we dated before. But she said the reason she didn't want to be with me was because I scared her. She was valedictorian in her high school. So I met her my first year in the Army, and she met me her first year in college. So we the same age. We both born in the same year. So she said she didn't want to fall in love her freshman year, and I didn't know that my wife came from poor beginnings. My wife lived in a single wide trailer her whole life in the country. Her parents didn't make no money. But you would never tell. If you look at my wife, you would think I really thought like she was new from ATL. That's how she carried herself. Real talk, like.
That's good. That's awesome.
But then she let me come to her house back when we were dating, and I realized she lived in the trailer and it confused the mess out of me. But she was very smart. She was valedictorian in her high school. You know what I'm saying? But I never treated a girl that well in my life. You feel me? I really loved her because she was smart and she was beautiful and she was sweet. Like, I don't like loud women. I don't like women who very confrontational. I don't like none of that. I ain't got
None
time for it. None of that. That's how most girls are though, you know what I'm saying? So
Getting attention.
yeah, you feel me? I don't want no Instagram model. I don't want a girl who for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She was like that. She was smart and she wasn't for everybody. So I was like, man, whoever she is, I gotta have her, you know what I'm saying? So I ended up spending like $3,000 on a vacation. But remember, in that time, I never been out the country by myself. I never even traveled by myself.
So you flex like, come on, let me get you back.
Yeah, but I really don't know
Yeah,
nothing. You feel me?
you was 20 then. You was 20, 21 then?
Yeah, 21 then.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, good observation though. So I'm 21, so I'm 21 at the time. So I'm 21. I ended up spending $3,000 on a vacation. So I had money at the time, you know, I done saved about 15 grand. I spent $3,000 on the vacation, but I was also spending, no. When I spent $3,000 on the vacation, I done burnt through 5 dating her. Cause I'm taking out her on dates. We going on a date. No, but for real, like, so I'm going broke. So I'm sad but in love at the same time because by the time we go on vacation, all I got is $10,000 on me. My fault. So, cause like I'm taking her on a date every single week, every weekend for 4 months straight. Every weekend. That's how in love I was with her. Every weekend we going on a date. And I'm burning through money. I done burnt through 5,000 being in love and let go of my hustle. So I said, you know what? This investing shit gotta work. So that's where the epiphany came in. It was the end of 2017. I'm in love. And I done saved some money, but I'm fucking up the money. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta take this investing shit serious and I gotta take my finances serious. So I ended up coming to my girl and I was mad at her and she didn't understand why. And then like I had a heart to heart with her. I said, look, I love you, but I'm losing money. Like I gotta go back to cutting hair. Like she was very clingy when she fell in love with me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I was like, you know, I gotta get back to the money or we can't be together. That's what I told her. Like, I'm like, you know, I gotta figure something out. She was like, well, I don't know what to tell you because I want to see you every day. And I'm like, so I'm like, damn, like I can't let go of it. So
I gotta be in 2 places at
my
once.
so guess what? The reason I'm here today is because my 2018 New Year's resolution was to save. Well, 2017 New Year's resolution was to save everything, right? And then learn investing, right? So I learned investing, I done saved up some money, I put it into this app called Acorns, right? So Acorns,
You familiar with that, Max? Acorns?
See the investment.
Okay.
yeah, so Acorns is basically an app that uses the ETFs to invest your money. So they're pretty much lying to the customer a little bit. They telling the truth, but they fabricating the story. They saying you're going to get exposure to
Exactly.
Apple, Microsoft,
Right.
Google,
Yeah.
this and that. But the ETFs invest in those. So that's what I had to figure out myself. So I Googled, what is this Acorns investing in? So I'm making money on Acorns, but it's slow. So what I did was I came up with a system. And this was the smartest system in the world. To this day, I'll tell anybody to do this. I said, I'm gonna save $100, but it's 2017, I forgot to tell this part. I said, I'm gonna save $100 every Monday. And the reason why is because Monday is the first day of the week, and you start your responsibilities that day. Well, really Sunday is, but we recognize Monday.
It's not a work day. It's a work day.
Yeah. So every Monday, I put away $100 into an investment account. So I'm saving money, and that's how I'm learning investing because I'm figuring out how Acorns work. So I'm like, how is this app making me money, but I'm not buying and selling anything? So I'm trying to figure that out. So I said, what do they invest in? So then as I'm diving, so that's how I learned investing, by diving into what Acorns is doing. Because as I'm saving money and pouring my money into Acorns, I'm actually making money. So at one point I done made about $700 on there just for having money in there. So I'm confused at this point. I'm like, I'm shocked because I done put my money. I'm making money from my phone for one. That's what's shocking to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dang. So I done made $700. So So I'm like, that means I can make more if I can figure out how that man is making me $700. That's what I'm thinking. So I go and I learn how that man making me $700. Oh, he's investing into different stocks, but putting money into a lot of money into those stocks. So I said, okay, boom. So I learned that. And then I downloaded this app called Robinhood. And then, so I put all my money, like it's this rapper, you know, Nipsey Hussle. He said all money in, everything I had saved. I said, forget this. Everything, I said, I'm betting on myself. I said, because if all that's failed, I just go back to cutting hair. But I said, but I forget this, I'm about to so I'm still cutting hair at the time. But I'm like, hey, I put all my money in. So I had about 10,000 saved, but I put about 5,000 at first. And this is why I mess with my wife to this day. She know that I spent a lot of money on a vacation. I done did a lot of things for her. This was even before we got married. When she got her college refund check, I told her, like, look, I got a dream. I want to be an investor, like this and that. She gave me 2,000 of that. And she kept 1,000.
She down. That's what you know with. You got the right one.
You got the right one.
They give you that
2,000.
Right.
So that 2,000 allowed me to buy a company that made my portfolio explode. So she gave me 2,000. I bought all marijuana stocks, all of them. Didn't even know nothing. I just knew when I get out of the army, I want to smoke weed, so I'm gonna invest in this. I ain't even gonna lie. I smoked a little weed before I got here. You know what I'm saying? So she gave me that 2,000. So now I got 7,000. That 2,000, I think it made like 8,000. Wow. Like as soon as she gave me the 2,000, I bought all medical marijuana. So I already had 5,000, but I really made my wealth came from her 2,000. Because all the money was off marijuana stocks.
Sorry.
No problem. So now I turned 7,000 to 14,000. But before I did that, I made an Instagram account. I don't know why, but something told me, you know, I'm gonna start a business. I don't know how, but I'm gonna do it one day. So then as I'm making an Instagram account, and this changed my life. You know, actually when my wife gave me that money, we were married, my fault. We were married, but she still was in college. She was a junior becoming a senior. Well, she was a senior, my fault. She gave me 2,000 of her income. And the reason we got married was because, this is the real truth though, we were already in love. I didn't even know my wife wanted to marry me or was that in love with me. We only been dating for 9 months. And we got married. No, we were dating for 6 months, and then we decided to get married in that 6 months. We got married after 9 months of dating. Cause we were so in love with each other. We were like, it shouldn't take people 5 years to figure this shit out. I'm like, I don't want nobody with you.
I agree with you.
I told her I don't want nobody with you, and she was like, I said, I can't even see myself with somebody else. That's what I told her. I said, you know, I can't see myself with somebody else. And we making money at the time because I was bringing in 7,000 a month on investment, and because I got married to her. So she boosts my income twice by marrying me so early. Because I told her, look, I'm in love with you. I don't want to be with nobody else. But I told her I believe in this investing shit. And if we get married, I can make another 2,000 a month in the army. And I can save that money, and it's gonna get us more money. So I'm still saving money because I also getting that marriage income, another 2,000. And then she gave me another 2,000. I flipped that. But I'm still, so at one point I'm bringing in 7,000 a month out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like just out of nowhere. And it's because, you know, because she walked into my life. So at one point she was a burden to my finance. Right. And then she flipped it and was everything to my finance. She was like, at first I saw her like as a woman I love, but I'm a hustler first. That's how I thought. You know what I'm saying? But then she ended up being the hugest asset to my whole operation. Wow. Whole operation. Like she the one who answers my DMs. So she'll tell me if an important person DMs me. So she's answering them, but she reported back to me, okay, this person said this. I don't control no finances. My wife does it. She gets the taxes done. She pays all the bills. Like, I wouldn't be able to tell you what my electric bill, phone bill, nothing. I don't know
That's your partner.
I don't even know. I don't even know what our mortgage costs, but I know we pay our mortgage double. So, and what's crazy is I bought my house for $600,000 a month. I make more in a month than what my house is worth.
Wow. That's crazy.
Like I make more in a month than what my house is worth.
Wow.
So that's how below my means I live. I live
That's
extremely.
important.
Yeah. So that's what I am. So I learned, but believe it or not, I learned how to run businesses through watching big companies run their business because I pay attention to their investments now.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned this. The object is to sit on a lot of fucking cash because cash is how you develop yourself for the future. So, but everything I did didn't cost nothing. I wrote the book, right? And the book cost $20, right? But it cost me $0 to make. And I post a link. And of course I gotta pay Shopify like $20 a month to sell that book, but that's nothing. It's one book selling for a month, and then I'm making $20,000 a month off that book. It like if I never advertise that book. It's just organic. People just buy it. It's not even on Amazon. It's not on nothing. It's not advertised anywhere. They just come to my Instagram. They like what I say, and they buy the book. So I think it's at like $30,000 a month since this year. So that book is making $30,000 a month, and it's 2 years old. But it exploded at one time, and it made like $500K in like a span of like some years. So that boosted me because it went viral. Somebody like big shouted it out, and it went viral. So I have no idea to this day. Because like I'm asking people like who shouted this out? Like
Somebody did.
imagine you wake up one day and then your account exploded off a $20 book. That means millions of people had to see whatever it was. But I just couldn't figure out what that was to this day. But my account just exploded for days. Don't know why. Somebody important shouted it out, and then it just caught heed to the world. So I ended up making like over like 1.5 million off that book to this day. But the real wealth, so that was where my initial wealth came from, the book sales. So I was I'm a man in the army now. They don't even know. Imagine I'm a specialist, so I'm the 4th rank. To get sergeant, you gotta be the 5th rank. I denied it. They like the nerve of you. You don't want more money? I'm like, I'm getting out of this army. Like I'm making more money. Like when I decided to get out of the army, like for real, I was making about $100K a month. Like and I was only 22.
Good God Almighty.
No. I was 21. No, I was 22. Yeah, I was 22, and I was like, I'm making $100K a month at the time, and I was like, there's no way I'm staying in now. Like, but at the same time, I didn't have $1 million cash. I was doing a lot of young stuff. You feel me? Because I was burning. Cause think about it. If you a young dude and you know you making 100,
it don't come with a manual.
it don't. You see what I'm saying? So I'm buying cars cash. I go buy my Camaro cash, $50,000. Go get me a Camaro cash. I go. Me and my wife. When I say, and my wife pregnant at the time as I'm getting my millions. See what I'm saying? So my wife is pregnant the entire time. The reason I started my business was because my wife told me she was pregnant. So I started to chat. So I was already writing the book. But I started to chat, which ended up being one of my biggest incomes because she told me she was pregnant. So at that point, I only had, so I'm like, and what's crazy is I didn't understand why my wife wanted to be pregnant so bad. We literally got married at 9 months. Like, so we got married in June after 9 months of dating. And then 6 months later, December, she's like, I want a baby. So I was in love with my wife, but I was conservative. But remember she broke up with me the first time because I was slowing down her hustle. She didn't want me to slow down what she got going on. And then when we get married, like, she was on some, I'm an independent woman, can't no man take care of me, you know how that is. Yeah. So out of nowhere, she like, look, I want to have a baby. And she hasn't even finished college yet. The woman who just told me I'm about to slow her down for finish college is like, I want to have a baby by you. I don't even have, I was making some money. Of course I'm making $7,000 a month, but I'm like, that's not enough to start no family. That's how I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, I'm not a millionaire. I can't have no kid right now. That's what I'm thinking. And she like, I want a kid. And me, I do anything for her. So I'm like, well, Well, shit, fuck it, let's do it. Man. So
Let's
we
go.
go.
I help you make
What's
some
crazy,
money.
man? I wasn't even rich yet. I wasn't rich. So I'm confused that to this day, like we were so in love that we were crazy in love.
Love is one of the most
You
powerful.
see what I'm saying? Like we were crazy in love, so we didn't have we had money coming in. We had 7,000 at the time, but I was like, you really want to like, I said, I'm not even, I don't even have a plan yet to get out the army like this and that. She was like, well, I want a baby, and I was like, so she ended up getting pregnant, and I told myself, and to this day, I even told her, I said, the only way I'm gonna get rich is if I have a kid. That's the only thing that's gonna force me to work hard.
Wow.
So we equally wanted a baby because I knew that the only way I'm gonna get rich is if I'm forced to do it. Unfortunately, a woman can't force me to do it.
Yeah, I get it.
You feel me? Like a kid can though. You see what I'm saying? So when she got pregnant, and then when she told me it was a boy, that's when I really turned up. I really turned up my hustle because I said I refuse to let my son say another man is his hero. I hate seeing other men say, that's my, this other man is my hero. This other man is my inspiration. Why is he not your father?
Right. And a lot of them do.
You feel me? I want my son to be like how Romeo look at his dad. Oh, and what's crazy was I posted a picture that said, me and my son are the next Romeo and Master P. My son's birthday is the same as Romeo's.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's how the universe works.
That's how the universe works, right? So by the time my wife had my son, I had about 300,000 saved, but I still felt like I'm not a millionaire yet. Like I still gotta turn this up. You know what I'm saying? Like 300,000 ain't gonna. That's not nothing to survive off of. You gotta have money, so if you know what I'm saying. If your account was at 300,000 right now, you'll be like, all hell break loose, right? You wouldn't be able to. You know what I'm saying? Like I know. To the average person, they sit here thinking like, man, 300,000, that's enough to start a whole life. But when you know shit is possible, that shit is nothing.
That money gone.
That shit is nothing.
Weekend.
Yeah.
The bill.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that was enough to let go of the army yet. So I said, I'm trying to get to a point where I got so much money saved that, you know what I'm saying, I can let go of the army.
Right.
So at some point, I'm bringing in. So by the time my wife had my son, I'm making about 70K a month. And then by the end of that year, I'm making about 100,000. So this is the start of last year when I was making about 100,000 a month.
2019.
Yeah. 2018, by the end of 2019, I'm making about 100K a month. So I got about 500,000 saved up because my son was born August 2019, and then he was born August 2019. 2019, January 1st. So January 1st, 2020, I only got 500K on me. But I'm still in the army and I got.
Man, you just recently left the army.
Yeah.
How long you been gone?
You been a year.
Gone?
A year.
Yeah, I only been home since March. Well, actually April, because I got the army March 20th.
So
And then I didn't move into my house until June. So here's a funny story. This is the craziest thing. So this is now this year, 2020.
Yeah.
I'm only worth 500,000, 2020. I learned, I was at a stuck point at one point where I was like, man, I was worth more than 500, but I only got 500 saved. But I know I got 200,000 coming in.
Yeah.
So I don't know how, but I won't say I don't know how, but I literally stayed in the house and I lost a lot of weight. I lost 20 pounds because I stopped eating because I'm so focused on my business. So it was days where I wouldn't even know though. I literally be reading so long that time will go by. So I'm sitting here studying. All I'm doing is looking at the stock market, reading books. I didn't watch no TV. I didn't buy no Jordans. I didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I was. I'm focused. Yeah, I'm lazy man focused. And you know what I'm saying? I'll stop and go get something to eat. But every time I eat, it'll be a big ass meal. So people will think like I'm balling because I'm eating that big ass meal, but they don't realize that's my only meal of the damn day. But I was eating good because I'm making money, so I didn't care what my food cost. Buy it all. Me and my wife eating crab legs, this and that, you know, anything we want.
We love you,
Oh yeah, I eat U-Bar all the time. So, yeah, like, next thing you know, for like 4 months straight, I increased my net worth. No, for 2 months straight, I increased my net worth for 100K. So out of nowhere, I was making 200,000 coming into 2019. By February, I'm making 400,000 a month. Out of nowhere. Because I boost the way I advertise. I realized the way I was advertising was wrong. I was trying to sell to you instead of trying to get you to like me first. You know what I'm
And
saying?
this is from the book though, right?
What book?
The book that you put out.
This is from my next book I'm putting out, The Psychology of Starting a Business.
Oh, okay.
But that's the next book I'm putting out. So this book is about the stock market, just teaching you about the one I'm making a lot of money off of is just about the stock market.
Uh-huh.
So people don't even realize I made more money off my book first than I did off my chat. But now, like initially, because it exploded, but then my chat ended up exploding. You know what I'm saying? So by like March, by the time I got the military, I already had about $1 million saved. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like, y'all really can't tell me nothing. And then on top of that, this is the funny thing. They were trying to keep me in so much. Like they like, look man, we will give you, I am like a person who's like, I am a specialist. I have no ranking, no accolades, no nothing. And I do have a story about, but I don't want to speak on that because, you know, I don't like messing with the government. You know what I'm saying? Like, you speak bad about the army, you know, I don't got time for that.
Right,
So I don't really want to tell that story about that. But anyway,
Yeah.
So basically, you know, they were like, hey, man, we want you to stay in. We'll give you anywhere. We'll give you Hawaii. We'll give you, like, they offered me places. They wouldn't even offer the high ranking. Like, they, like, secretly, like, hey, they said,
You saw something in you.
That's no, what it is. They don't want you to grow. They don't want me. They know if I get out of this thing, I'm gonna turn up. They want me to, because they know they can control me while I'm in here. That's what they like. You know what I'm saying? They like being able to tell a millionaire, get up, do push-ups, do this and that. Like, for real. Now, you know, he was there.
Yeah.
I was going for that.
Yeah.
He's not with you?
Yeah, that's how we met.
He's still in the army.
You still in there?
Yeah, I get out in May.
I met him in the army. The reason me and him are friends is because he was the only person in the army who didn't have that, who wasn't enslaved in the mind. He taught freedom just like I did. See, I compare myself to almost like, not slavery, but they used to say back in the day when the slaves were in the cabin, and every night all he doing is drawing his escape route. That's what I was doing. I'm not eating, I'm not talking to nobody. I'm just, you know what I'm saying, plotting every night. Just plotting on what I'm gonna do next. That's all I was doing for 2 years straight. I didn't watch TV. I didn't have Netflix. To this day, I don't watch TV. I can't understand it anymore because it's entertainment. It's wasting time to me.
I agree with you on that.
That's how I am. To this day, I can't watch
You
TV.
kill your time now.
I try to, but it's like, damn, you ain't getting no money doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I think now. If it don't make money, it does not make sense to
It
me
don't make
anymore.
sense. Yeah.
So it's like, it got to a point where I'm like, damn, I'm making a lot of money, this and that. And you know, I'm out of the army, I'm scaling. So really, this is how I got on when I came to Atlanta. So I'm moving from Savannah, I come into Atlanta, I'm already making 350,000 a month, something like that, 400,000 a month. Just getting to Atlanta, I'm already bringing that money with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Good God.
as soon as I get to Atlanta, and what turned me up was my cousin. He owned a restaurant on Metropolitan called Grits Good Eats and Treats. It's right across the street from Atlanta Metro College, Metropolitan, kind of close to the Georgia Dome. So my dad, remember I said he come from Cleveland Avenue, he from the hood. So my family is from, those areas. So when rappers blow up in Atlanta, they from those hoods. So the hoods I used to play in as a child a lot of rappers come from.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to play football for off Cleveland Ave called Roseville Fan.
Yeah.
It's a recreation center. You know what that is, yeah. So I used to play football for them when I was little. So that's how I knew a lot of those people. You know, from the hood. 'Cause all our dads were drug dealers.
Right. Okay.
And then looking back at it, I didn't realize it. You know what I'm saying? Like that all our fathers were drug dealers. But as I got older, I was like, oh shit, yeah, dad did sell drugs. And everybody dad did sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like I realized it. So he knew those people too. Jeff did too. You know, he knew a lot of those people. He grew up in that area, you know what I'm saying? And I moved away from it. I moved with my mom. So he knew a lot of those people. He was connected with Lil Baby, with every rapper you could think of. He done met him because he used to sell shoes to them.
Okay.
So I have an organic PR. I don't have nobody who know people through emails. This guy know people through phone calls, just like y'all do. But he's a young guy. So, and if he don't know you through a phone call, he knows somebody who know you. So basically, I was able to use the rap game and the people I grew up listening to give me exposure to my brand. You know what I'm saying? So it influenced the marketing. But I got through those people through him, my cousin. And that boosted, and that really turned my net worth up. So I ain't gonna say what I make a month now. You know what I'm saying? But it's going crazy, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm really trying to get to the 10, the 8-figure mark. Like that's my goal next. But I realize I can make whatever I want. I can be a billionaire if I want to be one. But what I realize is that, it ain't even about that. We already have it up here. It's about the work ethic. It's about actually doing it.
That's the key.
It's not even the mental anymore.
Yeah.
You become mentally sharp. You got so many business ideas. I got them. You got them. Now all it's about is us executing them. You see what I'm saying? That's all it's about.
That's the key.
That's it. I realize what people lack is the hustle. Everybody got a goddamn mind.
Yeah.
I go on that Clubhouse app. Everybody talking
lose
shit.
that mind.
Yeah,
I got them.
exactly.
They tell you, I got some employees, and they don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got people don't listen.
Everybody got a goddamn mind. But everybody ain't like
They
us.
ain't got that focus. Though.
Us, they not gonna do. They not gonna get up off their ass and do. They at home watching Netflix. They at home doing everything.
Video games.
I don't play video games. I used to be a huge game.
I don't even know how to turn it on. I don't.
Now look, millionaires are saying we don't play
I don't
video
know
games.
how to play video games. I don't know how
These
to
are
turn it
millionaires.
on.
I used to play them games
I ain't
in my
never
barber
played.
shops, and then I stopped. I used to play with Tuesday.
I ain't
Everybody
never
used to
played.
be playing, and then I stopped because I was gambling so much. And
Yeah.
my wife hated it. When I stopped, my son gave me a PlayStation or whatever you call it thing about a year ago.
I ain't
It's
never-
brand new shit in the drawer because we played football. I don't know about the other game. I haven't touched it.
Back
My wife said, "You really lost." I said, "I lost that."
Yeah,
My
back
wife
in the
like
day,
that. I lost
when
it.
that PlayStation was way back in the day, it was something. PlayStation,
Yeah.
Atari, or something.
Sega, all
I
that.
never touched it.
Yeah.
All-
I don't see
never
it. No,
touched
I don't mess with no
My
more.
wife-
Chasing that paper.
Dang, these were the golden ages.
I was chasing that.
But you
paper.
wanna know
You
what
play
really-
games, Jason? You play? I never played.
I'm gonna tell y'all the real secret to my wealth, though. The real secret to my wealth isn't really me, it's my wife. Because I wouldn't be able to have the time to focus on my business if I gotta answer DMs, talk to this person, pay this bill, pay this, pay that. My wife handles everything our life needs.
That's right.
And all I do is focus on my craft
Yes,
and my company.
Right.
That's it. So my wife can literally go buy 10,000. Me and my wife share accounts. I don't give her no limit. We're not materialistic people.
Right.
We wear this shit to impress those people.
Right.
Really,
Get
if
more.
you look at my past, I'd rather wear Nike and this.
Right.
But I know if I put on that Gucci and Louis Vuitton,
Yeah.
oh my God, he has money. Let me hear what he has to say.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's true. That is
That's
so true.
what it's about.
That's
called
That's
marketing.
what it's about. It's marketing. I'm
Saying
saying
that-
And that's what we as the older people, that's what you as a younger man helps us older people.
Yeah.
Because we wear Nike suits. That's all we roll around in.
Exactly.
That's all I wear is Nike sweatsuits.
Exactly.
Every time I come up there, he be like, ah, you ain't going.
Now imagine if you put on a Gucci sweatsuit and
Now
then
it's
do a
different.
commercial,
But
but
see,
see, I
I-
do for this car shit.
I
They
do
go
it
like,
for
oh my
different
God, what is
reasons,
he talking
though.
about?
See, I do it for different reasons because you don't want nobody messing with you.
You like you have an umbrella on
Yeah.
when it's raining.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The sun is out.
We just different mindset.
Yeah.
But with you putting that Versace on and then communicating
Mhm.
you out there,
You give
it
them
brings
hope.
more.
Give them hope.
Exactly.
See, and that's what we gotta get used to.
Yeah.
That's what we gotta get
God,
used to.
But they don't know how to break it down like I do. See, one thing, this is why I'm very successful. It's because I know two spectrums of life. I lived in Kansas at one point, so I'm going to an all-black school in Kansas. No, my fault, not Kansas, in Atlanta. I went to Creekside. My 11th grade year, I moved to Kansas. Their schooling and curriculum is way different. 90% white school. I'm the only black kid in every single class except gym and goddamn, I don't know, anything, easy.
Right.
I'm the only black kid in every goddamn class I take except gym. Really gym, that's it. That's the only time I see black people.
Wow.
Right? That's real shit. So I'm taking their classes, it's 10 times harder, but I'm surviving. So that's how I got mentally sharp moving to Kansas. So people don't even know I was a scholar back in the day. Like a real scholar, like I really studied, took all honors. Like I took 5 AP classes.
Yeah. All my son took AP at Westlake.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So I was a real life scholar before this, so I already understood how to study, how to write a paper. So people want to know where I learned how to write a book. How does a black man from Cleveland Ave know how to write a book? Because I moved to Kansas and their curriculum was way harder. I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
It's the truth.
It was like taking college. So I'm serious. They're regular folks over there are our AP over here in Atlanta. And I'm not joking. Like, they're regular people know what the hell I knew. So I had to smarten up. So I'm thinking, I'm transferring my AP classes that I took here in Atlanta, and I'm going to take their AP classes. So I'm shocked at this point. These people turn in assignments every day. These people got real life projects. They got real life funding for their school. So I'm doing actual chemistry. Like, I'm mixing real chemicals over there. In Atlanta, we couldn't afford to get no damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't doing no science.
Y'all did dissect the frog, though, they. Dissect the frog?
Dissecting everything.
Y'all dissect the frog in Cleveland?
Everything in Kansas. We doing everything. They got real life funding over there.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm really getting smart. I'm doing real life school projects, doing real life projects. So writing a book was nothing to me. I used to have to turn in 20-page assignments every day in Kansas.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Man, well, bi-weekly, but when you gotta write one, it takes days. You gotta work on 20, every day. So at the end of the week, we gotta turn in assignments, and they were huge.
Wow.
Huge assignments. Stuff you shouldn't even
They
give.
gave you a work ethic. They gave you a work
You
ethic.
should, they gave me my work ethic. So that's how I learned how to write books.
I don't know how they doing it now online, though.
I think, that's dangerous. Because kids, there's no way I can do that. I can stare at a computer all day. If you leave me at home, I'm gonna be playing a video game.
Yeah.
These kids are going to be slow. I think this is a plot to get the elites a bigger jump on the people, because people are going to be less educated because of this coronavirus. People are going to make less money, so people are going to sell their businesses, and all those big companies do is buy their products, buy their property, just like we going to do. And we see something we like, we going to buy that shit. We don't care who it got foreclosed with, who it was before. We see we got a plan, we going to buy it.
My partner, a good friend of ours, I grew up with, he buying yachts.
Exactly.
Here at the lake said he buying yachts for people from the bank, for people about to lose them. So instead of
Exactly.
your credit going bad, he buying the yachts and flipping the yachts. Get the mechanics on it and fix them up.
If he take that down in Miami, he got a huge business, because they were charging, I would rent yachts down there for $4,000 for 4 hours.
Yep, 4 hours, yeah.
So imagine, so that's an investment that I want to participate in. But see, one thing I know how to do is advertise. I'm one of the best advertisers in my opinion.
That's
in the
what
world.
I want. That's what I need your help.
I can show you that.
That's what I need. I ain't gonna lie. I need your help.
I can show you how to use Car booming.
That's what I want you to do, because we're gonna grow this bigger than you can ever imagine right here on Camp Creek. We're gonna take that ultimate brand and we're just gonna boom. But we had a lot of distractions last year.
Yeah.
So I eliminated everything.
Right.
Sold everything, eliminated everything, and now all my focus for 2021
You
is
can
ultimate.
catch them through influence. Like, let's just say everybody know Aristotle coming to this car wash. Like, everybody goes to my cousin restaurant looking for me. That's how you get them. So you get people. You can turn out the camera now, because this is